he turned down Wembanyama and playing in that game so he could be rested up to chase this triple-double against the Dallas Mavericks. It's not a good look for LeBron. He is
Jason,
not.
The NBA needs to lose this guy. They need to shed the weight of this fraud so they can fully start healing this product. Whoever knows, knows, and whoever doesn't, doesn't. Like the LeBron, the blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Jason, Whitlock has taken direct aim at LeBron James. And this time the criticism isn't coming from a rival player or a random voice on social media, but from a media personality known for saying what others won't. The charge is stat padding, specifically chasing a triple-double in a blowout while sitting out a tougher earlier matchup to stay rested. That narrative is now gaining traction across sports media, putting LeBron's legacy under intense scrutiny in a way we haven't seen in years.
James, last night, historic moment, Skap. I know you know where you were at last night. He became the oldest player with a triple-double.
Do you think LeBron James is chasing milestones at this point in his career, or is the criticism being blown out of proportion? Share your honest take in the comments below.
I found this tweet. I think it was from Apex Jones. Just trashing. Yeah, it was from Apex Jones. My memory's great. The king of stat hunting, stat padding, and smoke ducking, LeBron James. LeBron, you can't use his full name. The face of the NBA's load management black eye shamelessly load managed the 2-seed Spurs. He skipped the game with Wembanyama and the Spurs, and then stays in a 20-point blowout over the 12-seed Mavericks to chase a triple-double. He stole a rebound that clearly belonged to Jackson Hayes to become the oldest player to record a triple-double.
The moment that ignited the backlash seemed simple at first glance. Late in the fourth quarter of a 20-point game, LeBron remained on the court, needing just one more rebound to lock in a triple-double. The Lakers had already taken care of the Mavericks. The outcome wasn't in doubt. In most cases, coaches pull their stars in that situation to limit injury risk. Instead, LeBron stayed in, secured the rebound, and made history as the oldest player to record a triple-double. The headlines celebrated the milestone. Social media applauded the longevity. But critics? They saw something entirely different. Jason Whitlock and his co-host didn't view the moment as a historic achievement. They saw it as calculated. To them, it looked like a seasoned superstar prioritizing personal milestones over team flow and perception. They questioned why LeBron logged extended minutes in a blowout after sitting out a tougher, more competitive matchup earlier. Their criticism wasn't subtle or measured. They labeled it stat hunting. They framed it as legacy management. And most harshly of all, they called it fraud behavior.
This single play defines his career. Holy cow, career. Using Hayes' box out to steal the rebound. Hayes worked for and pad his numbers to reach another milestone, fraudulently cheating the game and his teammates for his own self-aggrandizement. 23 years, a fraud.
According to Whitlock, this wasn't simply about securing one final rebound. He portrayed it as a reflection of LeBron's broader career approach, always mindful of a narrative, always attentive to the numbers, always pursuing moments that reinforce his legacy. In that framing, the triple-double wasn't just a line on the stat sheet, it was symbolic. It represented a calculated understanding of how history remembers greatness and a determination to shape how that history is ultimately written.
I was going to say, Apex Jones sounds like he hates LeBron more than I do, so shout out, Apex. Look, I'll say this about LeBron, and that, let me expand upon that tweet real quick, or whatever, that posting on X. Look at the stats, look at this highlight you're showing. Shout out to your production team. That rebound came with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of a 20-point blowout against a team not even in the play-in range right now, who, by the way, didn't even have Cooper Flagg last night.
Critics focused on the timing. 2 minutes remaining. The game already decided. The opponent struggling. And LeBron still on the floor, still pursuing that 10th rebound. When he finally secured it, the celebration struck some as personal, like a mission accomplished. To them, it didn't feel spontaneous, it felt deliberate. And that sense of intention is what drives this entire debate. Because if the numbers are being chased, then the perception of greatness starts to waver. And once greatness is questioned, the GOAT conversation shifts immediately.
There were 24 other guys that logged a minute in that game, and LeBron played more than all of them to chase down that 10th rebound, which he did again. Obviously, snag it right off of his center right there, Jackson Hayes. And then, of course, he's running down the court, pointing, and the crowd is cheering. It is a disgusting moment. The NBA needs to lose this guy.
Whitlock's critique extended beyond that single sequence. He argued that in recent years, LeBron's focus appears to have shifted more toward accumulating statistical milestones. As LeBron gets older, those distinctions seem to carry greater weight. The oldest to accomplish this, the fastest to reach that, the only player to post a particular combination of numbers. Each record becomes a headline. Every stat becomes another pillar reinforcing his place in basketball history.
The blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Steve, it reminded me a lot of Kobe Bryant's 60-point night to end his career. Your thoughts?
And that's where the criticism cuts the deepest, because the GOAT debate has never been just about numbers. It's about perception, about dominance, leadership, and authenticity. When fans believe stats happen organically, they celebrate them. But when they believe those stats are being pursued, celebration quickly turns into skepticism. The same triple-double one group calls historic, another dismisses as manufactured. Whitlock also pointed to the broader media landscape surrounding LeBron, arguing that mainstream coverage tends to amplify the milestones while minimizing the context. The triple-double becomes the headline. The blowout becomes a footnote. The heavy minutes fade into the background. In that framing, debate gives way to praise, and critics say that ultimately protects LeBron's image. The notion that media narratives shape legacy, of course, isn't new, but with LeBron, it feels magnified. He's played in the social media era, the highlight era, where perception spreads faster than reality. Every game is analyzed. Every moment becomes content. And when a superstar lives under that constant spotlight, every choice carries weight. Staying in a game for a rebound isn't just a basketball decision anymore, it's a branding decision. Comparisons to past legends naturally follow. Critics argue that the greatest players didn't chase moments. They created them through competition, through victories, through championships, and through dominance against elite opponents. The argument is that past legends built their legacies in the heat of competition, not by chasing statistical milestones in blowouts. LeBron supporters, however, see this criticism as unfair and selective. They point out that stat chasing has always been part of the game. Players pursue rebounds, stay in for scoring titles, and rack up assists to complete triple-doubles. It's woven into basketball culture. If LeBron is singled out, they argue, it's only because the standards for him are impossibly high, every move analyzed, every moment judged through a different lens. But Whitlock's argument wasn't that LeBron invented stat padding, it was that his position in the GOAT conversation makes every instance far more significant. When you claim that throne, every detail matters. Every choice is magnified, expectations become unrealistic, and the margin for perception errors vanishes. Another key aspect of the criticism centered on leadership. When a team is comfortably ahead, should the leader chase personal numbers or safeguard his health? Should the focus be on individual milestones or long-term team success? Critics contend that true leadership is knowing when to step aside, when the moment belongs to the team rather than the individual. And that's exactly why this instance struck a nerve with some fans. The Lakers situation adds another layer of complexity. This isn't a rebuilding team, it's a franchise expected to compete, where every minute and every injury risk matters. So when a 40-plus superstar stays in a game that's already decided, questions naturally arise. Is it necessary? Is it smart? Is it about winning, or about history? Whitlock framed the triple-double as part of a broader pattern. The pursuit of narrative control, the constant awareness of legacy conversations, the careful positioning within the GOAT debate. Fair or not, that perspective resonates with a segment of fans who have long felt that LeBron is acutely conscious of his place in history, that there's also an emotional layer to the debate. Some fans feel a disconnect from this version of LeBron. They remember the explosive young superstar who played every game with raw intensity, attacking the court as if each moment mattered. Now, they see a veteran calculating moments, managing minutes, and choosing when to push. That evolution is natural for aging athletes, but it inevitably shifts perception. Whitlock's harshest criticism wasn't about the rebound itself, it was about what it symbolized. He called it ego. He called it self-promotion. He called it a player more focused on personal milestones than team identity. Whether that assessment is fair or overstated depends on perspective, but the debate itself underscores just how polarizing LeBron remains even after 2 decades. And that, ultimately, is the reality of LeBron James. He's no longer just a player. He's an institution, a brand, a symbol of modern basketball. Every moment feeds into a narrative larger than the game itself. Every stat becomes part of the GOAT conversation. Every decision sparks debate. What makes this situation so fascinating is how quickly the narrative splits. One side sees greatness, longevity, historic achievement. A 40-year-old still dominating, still producing, still rewriting record books. The other side sees calculation, stat chasing, image management, a superstar protecting his place in history. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Great players care about numbers. They care about milestones. They care about legacy. That doesn't make him a fraud, it makes him competitive. But the tension between team success and personal achievement is exactly where the debate exists. Whitlock's comments struck a nerve because they challenge the mythology, the idea that LeBron's greatness is purely organic, that every record simply happened.